Good morning, my dear children. I welcome you all for the bioscience class. In this class, we'll be discussing about mechanism of photosynthesis. Mechanism of photosynthesis furtherly classified into two categories. One is light reaction, the second one is dark reaction. Before going to this one, let me remind you the topic that we have explained in the previous session. In the previous session, we have completed about chloroplast and their role of trapping the sunlight and the enzymatic reaction that takes place in the chlorophyll. It has clearly proved that the production of food material happens only in the chlorophyll. In this session, we'll be discussing about mechanism of photosynthesis. The mechanism of photosynthesis are furtherly classified into two categories. One, light dependent reaction. The second one is light independent reaction. Let's have the first one, that is light dependent reaction. Here, light dependent reaction majorly depends on the light. And these reactions in which light plays the key role. A series of chemical reaction occurs in a very quick succession initiated by light. Therefore, this phase technically called as a photochemical phase or light dependent reaction. Light dependent reaction may also called as a photochemical phase because the reason is nothing but a very quick section of chemical reaction takes place in the presence of light. Because of that, it is called as a photochemical phase or light dependent reaction. The light reaction takes place in the chlorophyll containing thylakoids called as a grana of chloroplast. So the light reactions will be taken place in the chlorophyll which contain the thylakoids called as a grana of chloroplast. Several steps occurs in the light dependent reaction. Among them, the first one is the chlorophyll on exposed to the light energy becomes activated by absorbing the photons. The photons which are present in the form of a light energy will be absorbed by the chlorophyll. When the chlorophyll exposed to the light energy, it becomes activated. The second step, the energy is used in splitting the water molecule to release the oxygen. So the energy, whatever the photon energy that has enters into the chlorophyll, helps in splitting the water molecules and releases the oxygen out. The reaction is known as a photolysis. Try to keep this one in your mind. What do you mean by photolysis is an important question for your public examination too. So photo means light, lysis means breaking. Here the light is having the capacity to break down the water molecule to release the oxygen is called as a photolysis. This was discovered by Robert Hill, hence it is also called as a Hill's reaction. So photolysis reaction may also called as a Robert Hill reaction because it was first discovered by Robert Hill. Hydrogen produced in the photolysis is immediately picked up by the special compound called as a NADP. Try to underline the sentence. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. NADP. To form this NADP will be forming the reduction as NADPH. NADP will be reduced to form NADPH. Another energy rich compound ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, is also formed at the end of light reaction. Once again, let me remind you the topic here. The light production which is going to be taken place in the photolysis process is immediately pick up the special compound called as a NADP, and this NADP to form NADPH, that is reduction of NADP to form NADPH. Another energy rich compound which is called as a ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is also going to be formed at the end of light reaction. The next one is the light independent reaction. Here, this reaction does not require the presence of light. This reaction does not require any presence of light. The phase after the day may occur in some plant. After the complete day, this process will be occur. Because of that, it is called as a dark reaction. Here, the term dark reaction does not mean that it is going to be occurs only in the dark night. It only means that this reaction does not depend on the light. So the direct reaction does not mean that the reactions will be occurs in the night hours. It is only mean that the reaction does not depends on the light. In this dark phase, the hydrogen is going to be combining with the CO2 by utilizing the ATP and produce the glucose. So the final product has came to us. The glucose is going to be formed by the during the process of dark phase, hydrogen combining with the carbon dioxide, and for using the ATP energy, they produce the glucose molecule. This synthesis occurs in a number of steps using the certain special intermediate compounds and enzyme. So this sequel will be continuously takes place, and many series of enzymatic reaction takes place. Finally, glucose may be converted into storage product. So finally, the glucose product is be converted into storage product as starch.